Well, hello, and I am here with another video. Dang it. Okay, I was on vacation for Thanksgiving in Florida. We happened to go on Black Friday, Tampa area to Target, and I got this a Mustang Dark Horse from Lego. And of course, I went ahead to build it. For my other videos, I don't have a personal thing in what I'm talking about. This one I do. At one point, I owned a Mustang. I had a 1985 Mustang LX 5.0. What does that mean? It was a Fox body Mustang like this one. Kind of a goofy way to show, but this is like a 80, 83, I think. I had an 85. Very similar. It was all black, and it had silver, black, and gray interior. It was basically a Mustang GT minus a stick shift, a 5-speed manual, replaced with a 4-speed automatic, and instead of having a 4-barrel Holley carburetor under the hood providing 210 horsepower, I think it's 290 foot-pound torque. I don't know, close to 300. I had a 190 horse engine at 20 less horsepower with 270 foot-pound torque. Didn't have as much torque. What does that mean? Back then, it was a veritable rocket ship. 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds, 6 point something. I don't know what the quarter mile was, but both the GT and the LX 5.0 had stiff suspensions, wide 60 series 15-inch rim Goodyear Gatorback Eagle GT tires, 14,500, which seems like nothing today, but it was a lot of money back then. The Dark Horse, which this model is, this variant, is basically, how I want to say this. It's a 5 liter, but it's bored out bits, 307 cubic inches. It puts out 500 horsepower, 418 foot-pound torque, and it runs on 93 octane. It has an 8-speed automatic, I believe. And go and check. I wrote that. No, 10-speed automatic. It's got Ford's 10-speed automatic transmission, which I heard shifts a lot, so it's not a very responsive. A good transmission, but I mean, I don't know if you put it in sport mode, I guess. Well, my Mustang was 15,000, under 15. This one is 80,000. Basically, this car and my car are very similar. I mean, comfort level. I had a premium sound system. I had an air conditioner. Had a rear window defogger. Did not have true power steering. It had rack and pinion steering. It was power assisted. Mine, you had to put a little muscle into steering it. Once you got it going, it was fine. This one's probably electronic steering, like most of the cars. There's a lot of technology in this one. There was a lot of technology in mine because I just said I did not have the Holley carburetor. I had what was called an EFI, electronic fuel injection. It's kind of a throttle body controlled by little computer sensors, very primitive ones. And I think Toyota even built it. It was some Toyota's technology that they shared with Ford. And Ford was able to put this with this Mustang, the one I had, versus I don't know what kind of the 4-barrel carburetor. Like I said, I had 20 less horsepower, but I mean, as far as the car itself, it was young and stupid back then. I got that car up to 130 miles an hour, the 85. This thing here, this Dark Horse, I'm sure this thing probably did it even list the speed? Because I thought I wrote a few notes down. It does not say. I'm going to say this thing is probably like 180, 190 miles an hour, maybe under 200, or maybe 200 miles an hour. I'm not sure. This is not a turbocharged engine. It's just a V8 that's been pushed to the limit to give you the speed and power that you need. I don't think it's a supercharger either, which means this one, like mine and like the GTs back in 85, can last forever. You don't have the additional beating of the engine via turbocharging or supercharging system. I like Lego cars. Military stuff, Kobe is king. But for cars, Kobe makes cars too, but Lego cars, there's something neat about them and building them. And once you build them, they're solid. And I like the personality of the figurines. If you notice, there's a female in the car, not to be mean or stuff, but back in the 60s and 70s to sell the Mustangs, they had female um, females involved in the commercials, and they're just your run average um, stuff. But the ones now look better. I mean, I'm just saying. But it goes part of the being with the Mustang was it was a guy's kind of car, pony car, but everybody wanted one, and they when they did their commercials back then, even in the '70s with the Mustang too, they had it so that everybody would drive it, and the ladies like to drive these babies too with the big engines and souped up and stuff. They're manageable to drive with an automatic. I don't know with a stick. I've never driven one. I had a friend that had an '87, which had more power, 230 horsepower, and that had a 5 or 6 speed manual. I'm not good driving stick shifts, so. But I guess in its automatic form, like this one or like mine, actually pretty potent vehicles. I'll go through a little bit of a history. When the Mustang started out in '65, it was a '65 Shelby GT 350. Basically a V8 engine, souped up, big carburation, dual exhaust. Let me see if I can so you can see this better. Kind of cool vehicles. And it went from that to this, even more extreme. This is a Shelby GT 500E Eleanor 427 V8, bigger engine. This is basically like a racetrack engine, kind of like the engines that in that movie Ford versus Ferrari, those Ford GTs had. Then you have the '68 Mustang Shelby GT 500, beautiful car. At one point I wanted to buy one, but they're out of price range now. I mean, they're gorgeous vehicles. They had 427 V8s in them. 428. This one had a 428, I believe. Whatever large block V8 Ford had, I apologize for the camera thing. These are small on them. Oh, dang it. There we go. 428 V8. But he had a very nice car, a supercar to drive around in. They didn't make many. And in '69, they changed the Mustang around again to this body style. And this is a Mach 1 with also a Cobra Jet engine. This would happen to be, bear with me, a 429. So every year the engine displacement got bigger. And then they redesigned it. They had the Mustang 1971-73 Mustang. I don't have one handy. One day I'll do one just all on Mustangs. And then the Mustang 2, which was based on a Ford Pinto, which is horrible. Then the Fox Body, which is the one I had. And they had this one for a long time. This was a great car. It was expensive in '85 because basically when I bought it, it was $14,500. It was more than what I was, a little bit more than what I was making in a year at that time. So it was kind of a stretch, but I was single and stuff back then and wanted to pay it off, and eventually got rid of it when I got married because my wife at the time was like, it runs on premium gas. All Mustangs run on premium gas. My '85 would not run on anything but 93, 91 octane. You put regular in it, it would chug. In cold weather, it barely move. Mid-range, nothing. It would jerk and stuff. Premium, it's nice and smooth. This creature here, this new one, this 2024, will run on nothing but premium. Don't. If you ever were to get one, like I said, it's 80,000. But if you get a GT, they're 50,000 now. You can never run this on anything but high octane premium gas, which makes it the biggest expense in this car. And you also have to have the oil change religiously, 5,000 or less. And now, being the way things are, I would run nothing but full synthetic oil on it. But this is a nice car, and because like I said, I saw it during the Black Friday thing. I'm like, why not? Let's get it and build it instead of the tanks like I do. We have this. Well, that body style prior to it, there were two other body styles. It was this one. I think this is a 2000. Let me look. 2007 Shelby Cobra, and the next one is, I think this is a 2012. Yes, this is a 2012 Shelby Cobra. A couple years after this body style, it changed to the prior body style, which is kind of like this one, the one in 2024. The sad thing about Mustangs, I mean, the older ones, they're still expensive. You buy them at auction, you buy them used. They're not cheap. They're great cars. Like I said, I had no problems with mine, with the exception of it burning premium gas. And that's the nature of the beast. The 5 liter engine can't run on low grade octane unleaded gas. It needs the higher octane to run better. And it's true with any vehicle. I know people are like, "Oh, you don't need it on regular vehicles." Well, I drive a 2017 Chevy Equinox LT, whatever, 2.4 liter. I run premium gas in that, and the thing smokes. I mean, it runs a lot better. It doesn't knock, nothing, no issues. It'll run on regular, but there's not a lot of chance of ethanol bringing moisture into the engine. So you throw that in, even the horsepower goes up a bit. But that's why Mustangs have always, unless you got in the old days a V6 or a 4 cylinder, the 2.3 liter, which back in the 80s was kind of garbage. Until they played around with it, made it aluminum, went to multi valves, made it a twin cam engine and stuff, double red camshafts, and now it's turbocharged. Now it's a good engine. In fact, I had that engine in a Ford Temple, the 2.3 liter. I never had any issues with that. It's also a very good engine. My only problems with Fords have been electrical harnesses, and that's just a thing that could happen with any car. Depends how they're wired and stuff. But like for a while in the 80s, early 90s, they had issues with that. But not to detract, let's go back to this. This is a very beautiful car. And I don't know in terms of 1985 dollars how much this would have cost back then. I'm sure, let me make a guess. Oh, yeah, it would be more than a GT. It would probably, yeah, kind of be close to this if you don't count for inflation. 80,000, and there'll be some crazy person like I was that makes under that will want one that'll kind of put himself in a strain to buy one of these things. I did way back in '85 with my LX 5.0. But that being said, this is a very good car. I've never had any issues with mine. I've had friends that had them, and they're not good on gas. They're not, I mean, a family kind of a car. I tried to make it when I first got married, but no. They're for driving. They're for driving and just kind of tearing up the road and just going about your way. Um, One year before I got rid of my 85, I had I had 4 tickets in it, and I almost lost my license. But I didn't care back then because I was just going out having fun with everybody, and it was a great car to just do that. And these cars are magnets for the police too. I mean, they see you in them, and you go down south, they use them as pursuit vehicles. The GTs, not this one. This one is basically a super refined, not bare bones, it's kind of a discreet looking Mustang like my LX was, with the same engine, a little bit stronger engine, I think, than the GT, and the same transmission, out there to do the kind of the same thing. It's got a uniqueness to itself, just like the LX did when I had mine years ago. Sad to say, wish I had the money to buy one of these. I think I would, just from my experiences in the past. And they're actually a better driving car because if you see, they sit lower to the ground. And unique chassis. The Fox body chassis was a chassis from the Ford Fairmont. It was kind of a compact mid, and that's what the original Mustang was. It was on the Ford Falcon chassis. But I kind of gave you a small history of the Mustang. Let me give you a little gloss over look so you can see this close up again. And I'm sorry that I put too many things in this, but I will do a video basically on Mustangs. I got 2 more cars I built, and I have a Challenger tank and Ukrainian markings that I completed. And I'm going to try to do these 1, 2, 3, 4 quickly so you can see the content with these. I think I paid 24 for this one. Legos are actually pretty easy. Take your time with them. Their instructions are pretty straightforward and basic. They still have decals. There's a few like here. You'll see the door handle things and stuff. But I mean, if you get tweezers to put them on like I did, it's pretty much a breeze. This is kind of a board kind of a thing. I'm going to build a car, build a Lego. So there you have it, a Ford Mustang Dark Horse. It's a 2024, and that's my take on it. And a little bit of history of the Mustang included. excuse me, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I do have many more coming, and I'll be putting them up as soon as I get them. Maybe different subject matter too, because I've been buying a couple pens and stuff, so I'll show that stuff off too. Anyway, thank you, and see you later. Bye.